Survivor Series was a professional wrestling pay-per-view event produced by World Wrestling Entertainment, which took place on November 22, 2009, at the Verizon Center in Washington, D.C. It was the 23rd annual Survivor Series event. It featured talent from the Raw, SmackDown and ECW brands. There were 6 matches on the card of the event. There were 2 matches that were deemed the main events of the program. The first was the triple threat match featuring The Undertaker defending the World Heavyweight Championship successfully against both halves of the unified WWE Tag Team Champions Chris Jericho and The Big Show. This was also followed by the other main event match, another triple threat with John Cena defending the WWE Championship against Triple H and Shawn Michaels. 4 matches comprised the undercard of the event, with 3 being elimination tag team matches, often thought of as a Survivor Series tradition. The first was the team of WWE United States Champion The Miz, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Jack Swagger, and Dolph Ziggler defeating WWE Intercontinental Champion John Morrison, Matt Hardy, Shelton Benjamin, Finlay, and Evan Bourne. This was later followed by Kofi Kingston leading the team of Christian, Montel Vontavious Porter, Mark Henry, and R-Truth with a win over Randy Orton, CM Punk, William Regal, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase. The third of these matches held was composed of Mickie James, WWE Divas Champion Melina, Gail Kim, Kelly, and Eve Torres getting a win over that of WWE Women's Champion Michelle McCool, Beth Phoenix, Jillian Hall, Alicia Fox, and Layla. Also featured was a singles match that saw Batista defeat Rey Mysterio. The event received 235,000 pay-per-view buys, down from the previous year's event of 319,000 buys. Background: Survivor Series featured numerous professional wrestling matches involving different wrestlers from pre-existing scripted feuds, plots, and storylines that were played out on Raw, SmackDown, ECW and WWE Superstars or Euro World Wrestling Entertainment's television programs. Wrestlers portrayed a villain or a hero as they followed a series of events that build tension, and culminated into a wrestling match or series of matches. All wrestlers on the televised broadcast were from WWE's Raw, SmackDown, and ECW brands, a Euro a storyline division in which WWE employees are assigned to a television program of the same name. The Raw brand's main event was announced on the October 26 episode of Raw by the show's guest hosts and storyline matchmakers, Kyle Busch and Joey Logano. John Cena would defend the WWE Championship against both members of D-Generation X, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, in a triple threat match. At Bragging Rights, a 7-on-7 tag team match pitting contingencies of Raw wrestlers against SmackDown wrestlers was held, with the winning team declared the dominant brand. Near the end of the match, Raw wrestler, and one half of the unified WWE Tag Team Champions, The Big Show, turned on his team, allowing the other half, Chris Jericho, to score the victory for SmackDown. The following night on Raw, Big Show revealed that he turned on Team Raw as a favor from SmackDown general manager, Theodore Long, who in return would grant him a World Heavyweight Championship shot at Survivor Series against The Undertaker. On the October 30 episode of SmackDown, both Jericho and Kane expressed a desire to face The Undertaker at Survivor Series instead of The Big Show. Long decided to change the World Heavyweight Championship match into a triple threat match, with the third person being the winner of a match between Jericho and Kane. Jericho won the match to earn his spot at Survivor Series. Following the fatal four-way match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Bragging Rights, 2 of the match's participants, Rey Mysterio and Batista, had a confrontation rooted in Batista's perception of Mysterio holding him back from winning the championship, promptly having the latter turn on his ally, and assault him. After failing to reason with him, it was announced on the November 6 episode of SmackDown that the two would face each other at Survivor Series. A tradition of Survivor Series are a variety of tag team matches with elimination rules in effect. This year, it was announced that 3 of these matches would take place. The first announced would have former partners WWE Intercontinental Champion John Morrison and WWE United States Champion The Miz, who ended their partnership following a subsequent betrayal from The Miz, leading to verbal jabs over the following months via their former internet show, The Dirt Sheet, as well as a match a month prior at Bragging Rights seeing the latter take the victory. It was announced on the company's website that Morrison would captain the team comprising Shelton Benjamin, Evan Bourne, Finlay, and Matt Hardy, while The Miz would enlist Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Jack Swagger, and Dolph Ziggler. It was also announced that Randy Orton would have a team versus one of Kofi Kingston's, rooted in their involvement in each other's matches over the previous weeks and Kingston defacing of Orton's car. Orton will be enlisting the help of copyright copywriters Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes, as well as CM Punk and William Regal. Kingston's team is composed of ECW champion Christian, Mark Henry, Montel Vontavious Porter, and R-Truth. Along with the previous two, there was also a match announced consisting of the women of the company. WWE Women's Champion Michelle McCool will be teaming with Alicia Fox, Jillian Hall, Layla, and Beth Phoenix. The opposing team will be captained by Mickie James with Kelly Kelly, Gail Kim, WWE Divas Champion Melina, and Eve Torres. Event: prior to Survivor Series airing live on pay-per-view, the fans in attendance were presented with an untelevised match pitting Santino Marella against Chavo Guerrero, which saw Marella get the pinfall victory. Preliminary matches. The show commenced on pay-per-view with the first of his 3 elimination tag team matches, the Team of the Miz versus that of John Morrison. The match started with Evan Bourne and Jack Swagger, which saw Bourne dodge Swagger's attacks until Dolph Ziggler made his way in, leading to Miz's team trying to neutralize Bourne. As Bourne managed to break free, he ascended the top turnbuckle, and dove off with his signature shooting star press on Ziggler, leading to a pin predicament, thus eliminating Ziggler from the match. The next man from the Team Miz in was Drew McIntyre, who quickly eliminated Bourne by giving him a DDT. Finlay then entered the match as McIntyre tagged in Sheamus, leading to the latter kicking Finlay in the face before pinning him. As Morrison entered the match for the first time, he eliminated Swagger by connecting with his own version of a spinning split-legged moonsault he calls Starship Pain. The Miz entered the match following, and beat down on Morrison, before Shelton Benjamin made his way into the match, which saw him connect with a diving forearm attack and a pair of suplexes. The Miz regained his advantage by using the skull-crashing finale on Benjamin, leading to a pin. Matt Hardy made his way in as McIntyre did himself, with Hardy dominating McIntyre before Hardy was cut off by his opponent, and dropped with McIntyre's signature double underhook DDT and eliminated. With Morrison being the only one remaining on his team, he was beaten down by his 3 opponents, leading to Sheamus powerbombing Morrison and then pinning him, scoring the victory for Miz's team. Rey Mysterio vs Batista followed. The match started with Mysterio trying to hit quick attacks before Batista took Mysterio outside of the ring to the floor of the arena, which saw him throw his opponent into one of the posts of the ring. As the action returned to the ring, Batista went to execute his finishing move, the Batista Bomb, only to be stopped as his opponent escaped and threw him to the outside. With Batista outside again, Mysterio ran across the ring apron, and dove out at Batista with a seated senton. As the two once again made their way into the ring, Mysterio dropped Batista into the ropes as he executed the 619. As Mysterio went to pin his opponent, Batista evaded the attempt, leading to Mysterio ascending the top turnbuckle and attempted a frog splash. Batista blocked the attack, and performed the Batista Bomb onto his opponent 3 times, causing the referee to stop the match. Batista then placed a chair in the ring, leading to him spinebuster Rey onto the chair before the medical staff took him out on a stretcher. The third match was a 5-on-5 elimination tag team match between Team Kingston vs Team Orton. The match started with Randy Orton scoring a quick pin against Mark Henry with an RKO, aided by interference from Legacy. Montel Vontavious Porter was next to enter, but the rest of Orton's team, having planned his tactics, all took turns attacking him near the corner, concluding with CM Punk. An attempt by Punk to make MVP submit failed and MVP tagged in R-Truth. R-Truth's speed allowed his team to take advantage and nearly eliminate Punk, but due to further interference by the rest of Orton's team, Truth was eliminated by pin off the go-to-sleep, giving Orton's team a 5-on-3 advantage. Christian replaced Truth and constantly attacked Punk but couldn't get a pin. Punk tagged in Ted DiBiase, who countered Christian's offense, but Christian managed to reverse his situation by surprisingly taking him out with his sunset flip. William Regal then attacked, leading Christian to tag in Kofi Kingston. Regal was continuously attacked by Kingston, forcing Regal to tag in Cody Rhodes, who after a few attacks tagged in Regal again. However, Regal, not knowing that Kingston had tagged MVP back in, was eliminated moments later by MVP with the franchise. Rhodes replaced Regal and avoided 2 near falls by MVP, until MVP tagged in Christian. Christian was later slammed by Rhodes, who then tagged in his team's leader, Randy Orton. Orton then tagged in Rhodes again, but Rhodes failed to take out Christian, who managed to tag MVP in. Rhodes was attacked constantly and was nearly eliminated with MVP's play of the day, but managed to eliminate MVP himself with the crossroads. Kingston replaced MVP and took Rhodes by surprise with a near fall. Christian and Kofi then made quick tags in and out, each taking turns attacking Rhodes. Rhodes attempted to gain an advantage by throwing Christian into a turnbuckle, but was finally eliminated with Christian's kill switch. Orton replaced him and promptly eliminated Christian by throwing him in a turnbuckle, then hitting the RKO. This left Kingston by himself against both Orton and Punk. The former tag team champions were briefly dazed because they had worked together before but managed to work well. The two sides matched each other move for move until Punk nearly eliminated Kingston with a roll-up pin, but Kingston reversed it and eliminated Punk. Orton came in but, seeing an opening, Kingston attacked with a Trouble in Paradise, and within 6 seconds Orton was eliminated. As a result, Kingston was declared sole survivor of the match. Main event matches. The fourth match was a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship between World Heavyweight Champion The Undertaker and the Unified Tag Team Champions Chris Jericho and Big Show. Despite the terms of the triple threat match and what was at stake, much of the beginning of the match saw Big Show and Jericho cooperate to weaken The Undertaker and stifle his offense. The cooperative effort was eventually halted when Jericho whiffed an Irish whip-assisted shoulder block to the corner, throwing him into the ring post and leaving Big Show at The Undertaker's mercy. The Undertaker managed to remove Big Show from the ring and began to focus on Chris Jericho. Jericho countered The Undertaker's old-school rope walk and turned it into a superplex, giving him a brief advantage where he was able to apply the walls of Jericho to The Undertaker. At this point Big Show returned to the ring and attacked Jericho with a chokeslam, freeing The Undertaker from the hold, but his attempt to do the same to The Undertaker was countered by a DDT. Jericho attempted a pin on both men but was thrown from the ring by Big Show's strength. He snuck around to the timekeeper's area and retrieved the World Heavyweight Championship belt, which he attempted to use against The Undertaker while he was stalemated with Big Show but only hit Big Show with the belt. The Undertaker attempted a last-ride powerbomb on Jericho but Jericho held the championship belt as he was being lifted and struck The Undertaker's head with it while he was on his shoulders. Jericho's failed attempt to mimic the Tombstone Piledriver on The Undertaker allowed enough distraction for Big Show to enter and punch The Undertaker in the face, leading to a pinfall attempt exchange between Jericho and Big Show on The Undertaker. When Jericho tried to retaliate for having his pinfall broken by Big Show knocked him out but during his attempt to chokeslam The Undertaker, it was reversed into a Hell's Gate and The Undertaker scored a submission victory to retain the championship. The fifth match was a 5-on-5 elimination match involving WWE Divas Champion Melina, Gail Kim, Kelly Kelly, Mickie James, and Eve Torres taking on the team of WWE Women's Champion Michelle McCool, Layla, Alicia Fox, Beth Phoenix, and Jillian Hall. The final match was a triple threat match for the WWE Championship between WWE Champion John Cena, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H. In a show of solidarity, Triple H and Michaels entered together as D-Generation X. Immediately after the match started, Michaels hit Triple H with his sweet chin music, sending him outside the ring for several minutes. During this time Michaels fought Cena ably until he attempted to send Cena through the announcer's table. At this point Cena reversed but was interrupted by a recovered Triple H. However, instead of saving Michaels, he merely threw Michaels through the table himself. Triple H then took command of the match and continued the fight against Cena. Cena's attempt at an attitude adjustment left him open to an attack by Shawn Michaels, who had revived from going through the table. Michaels and Triple H then battled one another for a period. Cena revived but was only met with a flying elbow from Michaels after missing a diving leg drop, who was promptly tossed outside by Triple H. Cena applied his signature submission, the STF, to Triple H, but Michaels intervened and applied a crossface to break the hold. Eventually Cena was able to put Shawn Michaels in the STF, but Michaels forced a rope break. While recovering from the STF, Michaels managed to hit both Cena and Triple H with sweet chin music on reaction, causing Triple H to collapse onto Cena in a pinning predicament. After this, a short burst of offense from Michaels and Triple H allowed Cena to get the final advantage, finishing the match by throwing Michaels onto Triple H with the attitude adjustment and pinning Triple H to retain the title. Aftermath. After John Cena retained the WWE Championship, a breakthrough battle royale was announced by Raw guest host Jesse Ventura to determine the next #1 contender. The concept being that every participant was to be a superstar who had not previously won a world championship. Eventually Sheamus won the match and the contendership. Later on he attacked Cena and slammed through a table. Ventura, who had instigated the attack, announced that Cena would defend the championship in a tables match. Batista's actions sidelined Rey Mysterio for the next few weeks. Batista would later on become the #1 contender for the Undertaker's World Heavyweight Championship. After a few weeks of repeatedly attacking the champion, it was announced that Undertaker would defend the championship in a chairs match. Reception. Survivor Series received generally mixed reviews from critics, with many noting the predictable card and lackluster showcasing of talent for a Big Four pay-per-view. The Sun gave the event a 7.5 out of 10 score, praising Kofi Kingston's push, but criticizing the predictability of the matches, particularly the two world title matches. The Sun commented on the WWE Championship match, stating that the first 5 seconds gave a bigger shock than the rest of the event combined, as it features Shawn Michaels' immediate superkick to Triple H to begin the bout. Results: Survivor Series elimination matches, 1, 2, 3. See also: List of WWE pay-per-view events, Survivor Series. References. External links: Official Survivor Series website, Official Survivor Series microsite.